Good morning, champions. Today I want to remind you of something simple yet powerful. Educate yourself daily. In a world moving faster than ever, the ones who win are not always the strongest or the smartest, but the ones who keep learning, who stay curious, and who grow a little every single day. You don't need to read an entire library in one sitting. You just need to commit to growth. One podcast, one page, one lesson, one idea that opens your mind and challenges your thinking. Every day is a fresh chance to sharpen your skills, to understand the world better, to know yourself more deeply. Whether it's a new word, a fresh insight, or a powerful perspective, it all adds up. You see, education is not just about school, it's about life. It's about awareness. It's about evolving into the best version of you. Ask yourself, what am I learning today? What am I feeding my mind? Because your future self is built on the choices you make today. Learn from books, learn from people, learn from failure, learn from life. Be hungry for knowledge. Be passionate about self-improvement. Don't wait for someone to teach you. Be your own teacher. It doesn't matter where you start. What matters is that you start right now, today. So make this a habit. Educate yourself daily. Build your mind, build your life, and become unstoppable. Commit to lifelong learning, not as a task to check off, but as a mindset, a lifestyle. The world is evolving every second. New ideas, new technologies, new challenges arise every day. If you're not learning, you're falling behind. The truth is, your formal education might give you a foundation, but it's your daily dedication to learning that builds the structure of your future. Learning daily doesn't mean cramming textbooks or earning a degree every year. It means being open to change, open to understanding things you once overlooked. It means absorbing the lessons in your wins and in your losses. It means reading not just to finish a book, but to extract wisdom from it. Listening not just to respond, but to grow. Observing not just to judge, but to understand. When you commit to lifelong learning, you begin to see the world differently. Every situation becomes an opportunity, every person a potential teacher. You no longer fear what you don't know because you trust in your ability to learn it. And that's powerful, because in a world where information is infinite, the real skill is not in knowing everything, but in being willing to continuously learn anything. You'll notice your confidence begin to rise, not because you suddenly know it all, but because you've trained your mind to adapt, to explore, to evolve. You start realizing that success is not found in a destination, but in the consistent pursuit of becoming better than you were yesterday. Small steps lead to big growth. It's easy to get overwhelmed by the idea of transformation, of mastering a skill, of reaching a huge goal. But the truth is, greatness isn't built in a day, it's built in the quiet, consistent moments most people overlook. It's built when you choose to read a single page instead of scrolling endlessly, when you listen to one meaningful podcast instead of wasting time on noise. It's built in the early mornings, the quiet nights, the spare moments you use not to escape, but to evolve. Think about how a tree grows. You don't see it stretch overnight. You don't hear it groan as it reaches toward the sky. But day after day, fed by sunlight, nurtured by water, it becomes something strong and unshakable. Your mind, your skills, your confidence, they grow the same way. One idea at a time, one effort at a time, one small win at a time. Every small step matters, every single one compounds. You may not see the result immediately. You may feel like nothing is changing, but under the surface, you're building habits, wiring your brain differently, developing discipline. That's how change happens. Quietly, slowly, then suddenly, all at once. Most people give up because they don't see results fast enough. But those who understand the power of small, consistent action, they keep going. They trust the process, they stay patient, and eventually they look back and realize They've climbed a mountain one step at a time. Curiosity fuels progress. It's the spark that lights every breakthrough, every discovery, every meaningful change in your life. When you're curious, you stop accepting things at face value. You start asking deeper questions. You begin to wonder why things work the way they do, how you can improve them, and what lies beyond the boundaries of what you already know. Curiosity transforms routine into exploration. It turns ordinary moments into opportunities for learning. Children are naturally curious. They ask why 1,000 times a day. But somewhere along the way, many people stop asking. They get comfortable. They settle for what they already know. But those who grow the most, those who succeed at the highest levels, they never stop being curious. They stay open. They challenge the status quo. They question assumptions, especially their own. They don't just consume information, they investigate it, analyze it, break it apart, and put it back together to make it more meaningful. Curiosity is what pushes you to try a new book, to explore a new subject, to listen to someone with a completely different perspective. It keeps you from becoming stagnant. It keeps your mind sharp, your thoughts fresh, your ideas evolving, and it's not about having all the answers. It's about being excited to seek them. It's about leaning into the unknown with a sense of wonder rather than fear. Curiosity keeps you humble because it reminds you there's always more to learn. It keeps you motivated because it turns every day into a chance to discover something new. You are your best investment. No stock, no property, no business venture will ever yield a return greater than what you get from investing in yourself. When you pour time, energy, and focus into your personal growth, into your mind, your health, your skills, your mindset, you're building something that can never be taken away from you. Everything else in life can come and go, but who you become, what you learn, and how you grow stays with you forever. Think about it. When you improve yourself, every part of your life improves with it. You start making better decisions. You develop confidence in your abilities. You communicate more clearly. You handle stress more effectively. Opportunities don't just appear, you become ready for them. You stop waiting for change and start creating it. And it doesn't always take massive effort. Even small daily actions, reading for 15 minutes, practicing a new skill, reflecting on your thoughts, compound into real transformation over time. Investing in yourself also means setting boundaries, protecting your energy, and choosing progress over comfort. It means taking care of your body because it's the vessel that carries you. It means feeding your mind with content that challenges and inspires you. It means learning from failure instead of avoiding it, and developing resilience instead of expecting ease. The more you invest in yourself, the more equipped you are to handle life's challenges and seize its opportunities. Daily education builds mental strength. Just like your body gets stronger with consistent exercise, your mind becomes sharper, more focused, and more resilient with regular learning. When you make it a habit to feed your brain daily, whether through reading, listening, observing, or reflecting, you are training it to stay active, adaptive, and alert. You're not just absorbing information, you're building mental endurance. The ability to think deeply, to solve problems, and to stay calm under pressure. Mental strength isn't something you're born with, it's something you cultivate. And daily education is one of the most effective tools for that. When you expose yourself to new ideas, when you challenge what you believe, when you seek out knowledge even when it's uncomfortable or unfamiliar, you stretch your mind beyond its current limits. You learn to think critically instead of reacting emotionally. You start to see patterns, to connect the dots, to anticipate instead of just respond. This kind of strength shows up in everyday life. It helps you stay focused when distractions pull at you. It helps you make smart decisions when emotions run high. It gives you the courage to pursue your goals when fear tries to hold you back. Every time you choose to learn instead of coast, to grow instead of stagnate, you are reinforcing your mental toughness. You are training your mind to be more disciplined, more curious, more powerful. Learn from everything. The world is your classroom, and every experience, good or bad, is a lesson waiting to be understood. Growth doesn't just come from textbooks or lectures. It comes from the conversations you have, the mistakes you make, the challenges you face, and even the quiet moments where you're simply observing the world around you. Life is constantly trying to teach you something, and the people who grow the most are the ones who pay attention. Books give you knowledge, but people give you perspective. Experiences give you wisdom. Mistakes give you clarity. When you start looking at everything as a source of learning, you shift from being a passive observer of life to an active participant in your own growth. You begin to find meaning even in the difficult moments. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" Every failure holds a lesson in resilience. Every disagreement offers a chance to understand others. Every success reveals the principles that led you there. Learning from everything means staying open. Open to feedback, open to change, open to growth, even when it's uncomfortable. It's about seeing the value in every situation and being humble enough to recognize that you don't have it all figured out. The world is filled with lessons, but they only reveal themselves to those who are willing to look beyond the surface. Be intentional. Ask yourself daily, what did I learn today? This simple question holds incredible power because it shifts your mindset from passive living to active growth. It's easy to get caught in the rush of routines, going through the motions, checking off tasks, and reaching the end of the day without ever pausing to reflect. But when you start asking this question, you begin to live with awareness. You start paying attention to your experiences, your reactions, your conversations, and your thoughts. You turn your life into a daily learning journey. Being intentional means you're not just letting information pass through you, you're processing it, applying it, and allowing it to shape you. It means making a conscious decision to seek out insight, even in the smallest things. Maybe it's something new you discovered in a book, or a realization that came from a mistake. Maybe it's a shift in perspective that came from listening to someone different than you. The point isn't to have a groundbreaking revelation every day. The point is to stay awake to your growth. When you live with intention, you stop drifting. You stop wasting time on things that don't serve your purpose. You become more mindful of the content you consume, the people you spend time with, and the habits you build. Life becomes more than survival, it becomes development. And it all begins with a simple, consistent question that redirects your focus from just getting through the day to truly gaining from it. You don't need permission to learn. Too often people wait for the right moment, the perfect course, or someone to give them the green light before they take steps to grow. But the reality is that learning is not something you need to ask for or wait on. It's something you can choose to do at any moment. The world is full of resources, information, and opportunities, and none of it requires permission. The only thing you need is the willingness to begin. This mindset is liberating because it takes the power out of external circumstances and places it firmly in your hands. You don't need to wait until you have the perfect study materials or the perfect mentor. You don't need to wait for the right time or for everything to be lined up perfectly. All you need to do is take the initiative. Whether it's reading an article, listening to a podcast, or experimenting with a new skill, learning can start right now with no barriers. When you take ownership of your learning, you also stop waiting for validation. You stop relying on external forces to tell you what's worth knowing. You trust your own curiosity and intuition. If something interests you, you pursue it. If you don't know something, you figure it out. If you fail, you try again. In this way, your growth is not dependent on anyone else's approval. It's completely in your control. This approach to learning doesn't just build knowledge, it builds confidence. You begin to trust in your ability to figure things out on your own, which empowers you to take on bigger challenges, explore new territories, and push the boundaries of what you once thought possible. Discipline is key. Without discipline, even the most motivated person can quickly lose focus and momentum. It's easy to start a new habit or dive into a new project when you're excited, but the true test comes when the initial excitement fades and the work becomes routine. That's when discipline takes over. It's the ability to keep going even when you don't feel like it. It's the strength to show up every day, to stay committed even when distractions pull you in 100 different directions. Discipline isn't about being rigid or perfectionistic. It's about consistency. It's about creating a daily routine that supports your learning, your growth, and your goals. It's about making the time, even when you're tired, even when life is busy, and even when you feel like there are a million other things demanding your attention. Discipline means you prioritize what's important, even when it's not easy or fun. And that's how real progress happens, not in bursts of intense effort, but in the steady, persistent work you do every single day. One of the challenges with discipline is that it often involves making difficult decisions, saying no to things that don't serve your goals, resisting the temptation of short-term distractions, and pushing through discomfort to create long-term results. It requires a deep understanding of what you're working toward and a commitment to your own growth, even when it's not glamorous. Discipline means developing the mental fortitude to push past procrastination, to resist giving up when things get hard, and to keep moving forward, one step at a time, even when you don't see immediate results. And the beauty of discipline is that it compounds. The more consistent you are, the more automatic your good habits become. Over time, the little actions you take every day, whether it's reading, reflecting, or practicing, add up. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to be consistent. And with that consistency, you will build the foundation for lasting success. Discipline at its core is about making a promise to yourself and keeping it, no matter what. It's about showing up for your future self and knowing that every effort you put in today is an investment in who you will become tomorrow. Knowledge creates opportunity. The more you learn, the more doors open in your life. It's not just about accumulating facts or memorizing information. It's about developing the ability to see possibilities that others might overlook. When you understand more about the world, about people, about yourself, you gain the power to make better decisions, to solve problems more effectively, and to innovate in ways you never thought possible. Opportunities don't always come with a clear sign that says, "Here I am." But when you're well educated, well read, and well informed, you begin to recognize opportunities when they appear, even if they look small or disguised. Learning not only gives you the ability to see opportunities, but it also prepares you to seize them. If you want to succeed in any field, you need knowledge, not just superficial understanding, but deep practical knowledge. The more you know, the more resources you have at your disposal to tackle challenges. Whether it's business, personal relationships, or self-development, the more you learn, the better equipped you are to handle any situation that comes your way. Knowledge also allows you to communicate more effectively, to influence people positively, and to take initiative in ways that others might not even think to. Moreover, knowledge connects you to others. It creates a network of people, ideas, and opportunities that might not have been available otherwise. When you learn, you become a more valuable resource to others. You start building relationships with like-minded individuals, learning from their experiences and sharing your own insights. This connection, this exchange of knowledge can lead to partnerships, collaborations, and new ventures that you would not have had access to if you had stayed in your comfort zone without seeking growth. And here's the best part: knowledge gives you the freedom to choose. The more you know, the less you are bound by circumstances, by limitations, or by dependency. You gain the ability to shape your own path, to take control of your future, and to make decisions that align with your values and your goals. Opportunities don't just fall into your lap, they are created by those who are ready to recognize them and take action. And the best way to prepare yourself for that is by continuously learning and expanding your horizons. Knowledge doesn't just open doors, it helps you step confidently through them. Learning fuels confidence. Confidence isn't something you can simply wish into existence. It's something you build over time. And one of the most powerful ways to build it is through continuous learning. When you know more, you feel more capable. You stop doubting yourself because you've equipped yourself with the tools, the knowledge, and the experience to handle what life throws at you. The more you learn, the more you can trust in your ability to solve problems, make decisions, and navigate challenges. This growing trust in your own abilities becomes a foundation of confidence that carries you through even the toughest moments. When you are well educated, you stop second-guessing yourself. You begin to understand that you are prepared, that you are capable, and that you have the tools necessary to thrive. Confidence comes from knowing that you've taken the time to build yourself up, to strengthen your mind, and to broaden your understanding of the world around you. And this isn't just intellectual confidence, it's emotional confidence too. Knowledge gives you the ability to manage your emotions better, to understand yourself more deeply, and to act with clarity in times of uncertainty. Moreover, confidence grows from the consistency of learning. When you commit to daily education, no matter how small the lesson, you begin to see progress. That progress builds belief in your ability to improve. Even when things don't go as planned, your confidence doesn't falter because you know that you can adapt, learn from your mistakes, and come out stronger on the other side. You begin to see challenges not as obstacles but as opportunities to test and expand your abilities. And this confidence isn't just about being sure of yourself. It's about knowing that you can grow and evolve. You understand that you don't need to have all the answers right now. You have the humility to learn, the resilience to keep going, and the wisdom to know that each step forward, no matter how small, is still progress. This kind of confidence is powerful because it's rooted in your own growth, not in external validation. It's not based on what others think of you, but on your belief in your own journey and your own potential. Confidence that comes from learning is grounded in a deeper understanding of yourself and the world, and that's the kind of confidence that can carry you through anything. Your future is shaped today. Every choice you make now, every action you take, is an investment in who you will become tomorrow. It's easy to think that the future is some distant event, something that's just going to happen, or something you can control when the time comes. But the truth is, your future is being formed in the present, in the small moments, in the daily decisions that often seem insignificant at the time. The habits you build today, the books you read, the things you learn, the discipline you develop, are the building blocks of your future self. Too often people wait for a big event to change their lives. They wait for the perfect opportunity, for the right time, or for someone else to make a decision for them. But waiting like this leaves you powerless. The truth is that you have the power to shape your future with the decisions you make right now. Every hour you spend learning, every minute you dedicate to improving yourself, every step you take toward your goals adds up. Over time, these small efforts accumulate into something much larger than they initially seem. It's the daily grind, the persistence, the commitment to growth that eventually leads to massive change. The key to shaping your future is consistency. It's not about making huge leaps every day. It's about taking small, deliberate steps in the direction you want to go. When you make a habit of learning, growing, and improving, you are creating a future that reflects those choices. Think of your daily actions as deposits into a savings account that will pay off over time. At first, it may seem like the account is growing slowly, but the more you add, the bigger the returns. And when those returns finally start to appear, you look back and realize that everything you did was worth it. Every time you choose to invest in your personal growth, whether it's by learning something new, improving a skill, or developing a better mindset, you are laying a strong foundation for the future you desire. And the most powerful part of this is that you get to decide who you become. You have the ability to choose your path, to determine the type of person you will be, and to take control of the direction your life is heading. Your future is not predetermined by external forces. It's shaped by the decisions you make today, by the things you learn, and by the actions you take to move toward the person you want to become. Every moment counts, and every step you take now is preparing you for the greatness that lies ahead. In conclusion, remember that the future is not a distant concept. It's being shaped by the actions you take today. Each moment you dedicate to learning, growing, and becoming better brings you closer to the person you aspire to be. Every choice, no matter how small, is an investment in your future. So make today count. Be intentional, be disciplined, and be open to the lessons that life offers. Because when you commit to educating yourself daily, you don't just change your present, you transform your future. Keep learning, keep growing, and remember, your journey to greatness starts right now. The future is waiting for you to build it. So start today and make it extraordinary.